Week 1 of the 2025 NFL season is here, and we've got a big game on Sunday between the Los Angeles Rams and the Houston Texans in LA. Two teams that won their division last year, and two teams that made the divisional round of the playoffs last year. And Dalton, the Rams defense, I know Aaron Donald retired a couple years ago, but their pass rush is once again one of the best in the NFL. Jared Verse won Defensive Rookie of the Year last year. This pass rush is young, and it's very exciting.
It's young, it's talented, and there might be some scheme advantages that we have in this game over Houston. And we know the struggle of Houston's offensive line, but let's take a look at the Rams' pass rush first, just as a team. And it's not just Jared Verse. You're talking about Kobe Turner, Braden Fisk, Byron Young. They add Josiah Stewart, the third-round rookie, into that mix. I think he could be a really good player. And you just look at the sheer amount of talent. And this is a bunch of young kids you're talking about. You mentioned that you're replacing Aaron Donald last year, one of the greatest defensive tackles of all time, maybe the best we've ever seen, right? And you go, okay, how are they going to do it? Well, they do it with a group effort. You don't replace Aaron Donald with one guy, although Jared Verse is trying, that's for sure. You don't replace Aaron Donald with one guy, but look at this. There's hardly any drop-off from the Rams as a pass rush unit last year. 6th best pass rush grade in the NFL, 9th in pressure rate, 8th in pass rush win rate. And these two numbers down here are the ones that intrigue me in this matchup specifically. 18th in blitz rate. Not too high. You're average. They're not going to blitz that much. And if I have that talented a defensive line, I don't need to blitz that much either. But it's down here. You may have talented guys, but you can still get creative with it. 30% stunt rate, 5th in the NFL. So even if you're sending 4, you can cause confusion up front. You can mess with offensive linemen's eyes, mess with their assignments. Let's take a look specifically on those 30% of plays real quick. Look at these numbers all of a sudden. Now you're talking about when the Rams do use a stunt on those 30% of plays last year. 2nd in the league in pass rush grade, 1st in pressure rate, 6th in pass rush win rate. So it's not just, Chris Shula's creating space for them. They're still winning one-on-one battles, and 1st in sack rate. So you're talking about they're getting pressure at the highest rate. They're getting sacks at the highest rate. That's pretty darn good. That tells you it's working, and I'd expect more of it, especially against this Houston team this weekend.
Absolutely. So let's show some plays of why the Rams stunts worked to perfection really last year.
All right, here we go. This is early last year. This is even before we knew Jared Verse was an absolute animal, right? So here's what's going to happen, all right? We've got 3 down linemen on the left side of the Rams defense here. 1, 2, 3. All right, this is going to be fun. So the protection has to be set that way. Has to be. Now, what ends up happening here is Jared Verse, one-on-one out to the edge here on Taylor Decker, okay? This linebacker is going to drop, but because he's lined up where he is, within about 3 yards of the line there, this left guard has to be aware of him, right? So he's going to take his first step with his eyes on this linebacker. That's problem number 1. Now, he's going to drop off into zone coverage. This linebacker is also going to drop off into zone coverage. So we do have a 4-man rush with a pre-snap presentation that tells us maybe they're blitzing, maybe they're not. The blitz is not the threat with the Rams. It's the stunts. What's going to happen? Verse is going to rush on the outside. And I love about this, too, formationally. We're going to talk about this. I love the idea. The stunt's going to be on this left side, but my best player is out here solo. So I still have major threats on both sides of it. Here's what's going to happen. Braden Fisk, the center is going to set the protection this way. Braden Fisk is going to cross his face, and the center is going to go with him, okay? Then what's going to happen? Kobe Turner getting upfield outside of Penei Sewell here. This guard's supposed to set to him first. He's doing his job. What's going to happen with this space cleared here and here with Fisk crossing the center's face and Turner taking the outside route? Here comes Byron Young looping around Kobe Turner right in here. That's what's going to happen. Now, the entire idea, when you get a stunt going, Jared Goff's right at the top of his drop right here. You see it here. Fisk now is on the right side. Turner occupied Sewell. The guard's late getting back. We're turning the corner right now as Jared Goff hits the top step of his drop. That's exactly how you want it to work. Somebody gets free. So maybe Jared Verse doesn't win the battle over here on this right side of the defense here. Maybe not. That's Taylor Decker. Really good tackle. But on the other side, you've got a lot to deal with. And one mental error can create this pressure. One mental error can create the sack. And obviously, there's Byron Young, the first one to him there, right? That's how you create it for players that maybe your best player is Jared Verse, yes, but that's how you create pressure for other guys. Let's see another one. We're going to get an inside stunt this time. Now, same idea. There's going to be a 4-man rush. This is going to drop off right here. So, again, here's Jared Verse by himself, okay? One-on-one, you get that battle going. That's cool, too. What you're going to see again here this time. Kobe Turner, we're going to leave Byron Young way out on the edge here. He's going to keep contained so Jordan Love can't roll to his right. Now, it's different. You got to think about these things, too, with quarterbacks, okay? Jared Goff doesn't move much, so you can crash and do all sorts of things and stunt your end. Jordan Love, you send this stunt, you have Young crash, and you send that same stunt as the play before. What's he going to do? Roll to his right, and he's dangerous. Now, what you're going to get again, Kobe Turner. Take the outside gap here. Protection's going to be set this way. Center's going to go to him. Braden Fisk this time is going to come around and get across the center and get right to the middle, right? Let's see it develop. Boom. There's the space once again. The center sets hard to Turner. The guard is occupied. There's a whole lot of space here. Braden Fisk, right as Jordan Love gets to the top of his drop. And the best part about this too, Byron Young. Again, everybody's pass rush lanes are important, especially on the side that you're pressuring. Look at this. Look at the contain. He's got nowhere to go. He wants to roll to his right naturally. Jordan Love makes a lot of throws to his right. We get here. He wants to roll it. You can see trying to get out to his right, and what do I end up with? Fisk here, he runs right into Young. Turner gets involved. Jared Verse didn't even win the battle that time, but we're creating for everybody on this defensive line, not just Jared Verse, our best player.
Those are two pretty good offensive lines, too, in the Lions and the Packers. It's safe to say that the Texans might not have a very good offensive line this year, so it could be a bad matchup in Week 1.
Well, this is the problem. Okay, now we get into the problem. There's been so much talked about with the Texans' offensive line, both during the season last year, rightfully so, and now that they've traded away Laramie Tunsil, these numbers could get even worse. Here's the Texans trying to pick up stunts last year, especially on the interior. It was a big struggle. 24th in pass blocking grade. Second highest pressure rate in the league. C.J. Stroud's running for his life when teams are stunting. Highest knockdown rate. C.J. Stroud's getting hit the most. He's getting sacked the most. These are things you can't have. And now you're talking about an offensive line that, look, they basically just announced what their starting lineup is. They're going to start rookie Ariante Ursary at left tackle, right? So that's already one problem. Titus Howard's going to play the other spot. You're going to get guys like new center and Jake Andrews inside at center. I mean, you got guards shuffling in and out of the line. I mean, the Texans are trying to just figure out the lineup and if they're good enough to block anybody. But then they have communication issues and mental mistakes that, we can go over this from last year now. I mean, here we go. Now, same thing. You got kind of this 3-by-1 setup here from the Colts. Not blitzing, 4-man rush. Again, 1, 2, 3 are going to go on this side. And here's Kwity Paye out here. He's going to rush off the edge to the outside. But again, I want you to look at this trio here on the right side. What you're going to get is an interior stunt. The protection's going to be set this way. The guard actually here is going to overset this way. I'm not exactly sure why, but I know what it is. What's going to happen is he's going to attack the center on this right shoulder, and then you're going to get this stunt all the way around to beat this guard right over here, okay? And then you're going to get the outside rush here, still trying to keep Stroud in the pocket. You see this interior stunt. The guard's going to overset to it, and right as Stroud hits the top of his drop, look, center's face is crossed, guard, way too far. I have no idea why you're going this far in, even though the center's face is being crossed. Trust him, maybe get a hand on it, but you cannot allow DeForest Buckner here to get this far. Look at him, he's lined up head up over the tackle to get this far to the other side of the right. Basically, his one job is to protect against this stunt. No idea why he's oversetting here. You can see him way in here. And again, Stroud, top of his drop. Here comes the pressure. Here comes a sack. You just can't have free runners like that. I mean, it's that simple when you're communicating these stunts. And these are long stunts that these guards have time to pick up. Here's what's going to happen again, 3-by-1. This is what we've seen on these, obvious passing situation. Teams are going to go to this. The Rams go to this. We just saw it. All right, 1, 2, 3 on one side. And again, I like this too. I like this setup from Minnesota. Jonathan Grenard, solo back there. That's your best pass rusher. Let's create for everybody else, right? What's going to happen here? So the center, again, is going to set the protection this way. Again, no idea what's happening here. I just don't even. This is where the Texans' interior is at last year. So we're set. We're going to set back this way. What's going to happen? Take the outside approach. Take the outside shoulder. Clear out this space. And see what we can open up right in here for Andrew Van Ginkel to come. Look, this is more than a wide 9. This is about a wide 90 out here. Looping all the way back behind him. Right back through in near this A-gap right in here. And guess what? It's going to work, and it's going to work quick. My right guard, look at this. And this is the part of the effect that you get your best pass rusher solo on an island. My right guard is out here on not Daniil Hunter, Jonathan Grenard. He used to be there. My right tackle's there, and even we're getting 3 guys on Jonathan Grenard, but we're not picking up this stunt that comes from Van Ginkel. So again, Stroud's still in his drop. Look, his feet are still crossed. He's still dropping. and we're already in here, and he's going to try to roll to his right, and we're going to get a sack again. Too easy, right? And this is the problem against this Rams team and this pass rush. You got enough to worry about with the talent of these guys, with Jared Verse, with Kobe Turner, all Braden Fisk, everybody they have up there. But then you got them playing mind games up here with your offensive line, and an offensive line that is trying desperately to gel. This would be the biggest concern for me if I'm Houston this week, and I think the Rams are going to get even more creative in especially in week one when an offensive line is in their first game together.
So the Rams-Texans is one of the best matchups of week one, but one of the biggest mismatches of week one could be the Rams pass rush against the Texans' young offensive line.